I'm an armchair homesteader, meaning, thanks to YouTube, I watch other people shovel compost, chase buff Orpingtons, and shear moody alpacas. Hi, this is Inkworks, and I'm Irene, a 56-year-old city gal who sometimes imagines herself as Farmer Jane. That might be a shocker, what with me and my purple velour loungewear. A real self-sufficiency adherent would be sporting denim of some sort, either jeans or overalls. Or, at the very least, a graphic tee saying, "My bees can beat up your bees." Keep in mind, as a casual armchair homesteader, I am not an expert. This is an arting channel, after all. So take what I say about farming with a big old grain of, yeah, right. This art project is a watercolor painting I whipped up just before heading over to see my friend, Gail. It was her birthday, and producer Mike suggested I make a card for her. The supplies consisted of a sheet of Meaden's hot-pressed cotton watercolor paper, a Princeton Aqua Elite half-inch angled shader brush, and several colors from the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Art Nouveau paint set. Specifically, yellow-brown, pale pink, and alizarin crimson. The colors in this Art Nouveau set are softly muted, intended to evoke a vintage palette. Gansai Tambi is a Japanese type of watercolor that's a little more opaque and uses a different binder formula. So it stands out from European and American-made watercolors. Kuretake also has other Gansai Tambi color sets in various sizes, from 6 to 48, I think. This is the 4th or 5th time I've featured this particular product, and I really dig it. I have fun with it every time. As far as watercolor paint sets go, my current favorite is Magello's Mission Gold Pure Pigment set of 34 tubes. I should make it clear that I don't have a lot of watercolor sets. Most of my watercolors are in the form of individual tubes that I then poured into pans. I've dedicated an entire sketchbook to Mission Gold, and that content is in its own playlist. Nowadays, for most of my serious watercolor projects, I'll pull out my drawer of watercolors and select a handful of pans from either M. Graham or Da Vinci. I have a couple of issues with Daniel Smith, so they aren't my go-tos. When I just want to have fun and not have to think about which colors to choose, I'll often reach for this Kuretake set. Or actually, another fun one is Derwent's Graphitent set. That last has 12 half pans in a compact plastic case, so mobile art bag friendly. I'll add links to some previous videos in the description so you can see those demonstrated. Fantasizing about farming is as far as things go. Even in my youth, when I had energy to spare, I would rather hole up in my bedroom with a novel than plant seeds. This stuff has been on my mind since it's springtime and all. And with spring, I feel my age a little more keenly because my birthday is coming up. And while I am very excited about my free birthday meal at the Golden Corral buffet, I'm also a tad bummed out. Mostly because it sucks to get old, yes, but also, in recent years, I keep forgetting how to do the math and resort to opening the age calculator site. You know, the webpage where you just enter your date of birth and they tell you how old you are. Yeah, the thing is, don't just show up at your local Golden Corral going all make way for the birthday gal. You have to join their Good as Gold club first to get that perk. Because they're emotionally needy and are trying to collect as many friends as they can. Look, it's the usual deal. You give them all of your personal deets, and then you're on their evil corporate mailing list. What could go wrong? If I ran things, I'd charge an annual membership fee and jack up the rewards. Like maybe add a fancy members lounge at each location and provide expedited service to the front of the line. No more waiting with the hoi polloi. We've got buffet royalty here. Actually, I am not a fan of the whole coupon thing. I spent many years working in the retail industry, and I despise how consumers are made to run through hoops to get a deal. Just price your products fairly to begin with. It's as annoying as the tipping system here in the U.S. It's so ingrained that many places even automatically add it to your bill. No, pay your workers a proper wage. I told myself, don't get cranky in the voiceover. I even made a cup of coffee to help. Oh well. As a final touch, I used a faber-castell Pitt artist pen to add some loose line work. This one is in the color sepia and has a brush tip. Buff Orpington is just one of the many chicken breeds out there, and they aren't called buff because they're ripped. No, it's because of their tan or light gold coloring. I nearly said Borf Uppington, which sounds like a snooty Britcom character. Darling, it's our next-door neighbors, Borf and Biddy Uppington. They've brought over a lovely Easter hamper from Harrods and asked us to retrieve our goats from their patio. There was a British TV series from the 1970s called The Good Life. Here in the U.S., it was known as Good Neighbors. The main characters, Tom and Barbara Good, decide to ditch the rat race and try their hands at a self-sufficient lifestyle right in their suburban home. So they turn their front and backyards into vegetable beds and grazing space for livestock, which, of course, horrifies their next-door neighbors, Jerry and Margot Ledbetter. This creates all sorts of comical situations where the Goods' antics tarnish the Ledbetters' social standing. I watched a lot of the show on PBS in my younger years. They'd periodically re-air the series, and I would re-watch it for snits and giggles. It was all fun and amusing until Tom said something sexist and reminded me why I didn't love the show. The other night was breakfast for dinner night, so we prepared scrambled eggs, pork sausage links, and pan-fried hash browns. Of course, the entire time I pictured myself collecting eggs from the hen house, feeding the pigs table scraps, and pulling potatoes from a raised garden bed. I recently discovered the YouTube channel Epic Gardening. Kevin, I think his name is Kevin, he has a 1/3 of an acre urban homestead in San Diego. Apparently, he's been doing it for years because he's got an extensive video library and several million subscribers. Anyway, I've been binging his content because I'm amazed by not only his knowledge, but also how much he's packed into that 1/3 of an acre. including in-ground growing beds, raised beds, container plants, a tool shed, a greenhouse, a pond, an orchard, a chicken coop, a multi-bin compost system, and a rainwater cistern. It's all very impressive for a small lot, and it makes me wish The Sims 4 would come out with a homesteading expansion pack already. They have bits and pieces, sure, but they really need to add canning and preserving and proper raised planting beds. Get on it, EA! One aspect of growing one's own food that really appeals is getting that bumper crop and filling your pantry or cellar with baskets of carrots, potatoes, and onions, jars of fruit preserves, containers of pickled vegetables, and bunches of dried herbs. It's all about food security, which is a normal concern to have. On more than one occasion, food banks have had our backs. During my childhood, our subsistence was supplemented with food stamps and even free government cheese. I won't go into why they were giving away cheese. Short story, it had to do with surplus commodities due to subsidies. Some years ago, the food stamp program was replaced with SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. But food stamps, at least here in the U.S., originated during the Great Depression. They were discontinued due to our post-war boom, but were revived during the 1960s. And for a divorced mother with 8 children, they were lifesavers. Look, I never intended to share this here, but it's a cranky kind of day. So I'll just say it. My dad left us to marry another woman and adopt her kids. Then my mother was screwed in court, and we were never paid what we were owed. Oh man, I could tell some stories. But I'm not that cranky. Actually, I'm happy to share this painting session. Happy birthday to my BFF, who's been a lifelong loyal supporter through both smooth times and rough times. Also, many thanks to all of the viewers for powering through 12 to 14 minutes of reminiscence and chit-chat. Until next time, remember, Buff Orpington is a popular breed of chicken due to their overall good and pleasant nature. But even the best of us get cranky on occasion. Just saying. And stay artsy, my friends.